Good day everyone. My name is John Michael Ramos and I am your presenter for today. Today I will be discussing the different types of CAN defects, both from the manufacturing process and the handling. These defects may seem minor at first glance, but they can significantly affect the safety, the quality, and shelf life of canned products. Let us begin in the can manufacturing defects. False seam. Common defect called a false seam or a double seam defect occurs when the seam on the can body looks okay from the outside. No, okay siya sa gawas. But in the inside the eye, dili siya properly sealed. This happens when the hooks of the can body and the lid are not fully interlocked. So what causes this? Well, the improper interlocking of can body and lid. Also, the main reasons are worn out seaming and also the incorrect machine settings or misalignment, no, between the body and the lid. The effect can be dangerous as it can lead to leakage and contamination. Improper seams allow air or contaminants to enter the can, leading to product spoilage or even health risk for consumers. Why it is necessary to avoid this kind of can defects? Well, a false seam are one of the most serious double seam defects. Even though the can might look okay from the outside, the inside isn't sealed tight enough. This can lead to leaks, spoilage, or contamination, especially in canned food products. It usually happens because the seaming machine isn't properly adjusted or the others are worn out. That is why there is a need for prevention. No, the prevention can be to prevent this. It is important to do regular seam inspections, calibrate seaming machine properly, and train operators to recognize early signs of this defect. Next, let's look at a defect that affects the body of the can, the paneling. Paneling is when the can body caves inward. No? Paneling occurs when the walls of a can cave inward, creating a vacuum effect and causing distortion of the can body. Now, this usually happens because there is too much vacuum inside the can after cooling, or the can walls aren't strong enough to withstand the pressure. The cause can often be traced to overcooling the product, which creates an internal vacuum, or using cans made from thin metal. The effects: it makes the can look damaged and unappealing, and in severe cases, it can affect the seal and lead to leakage. No? To prevent this, or to prevent paneling, manufacturers should control the vacuum levels during cooling and use cans that have the right structural strength for the product being packed. Now let's move on to a type of manufacturing defect called the misshaped can end. This defect refers to a situation where the lid or the bottom of the can is warped, dented, or not formed to the right shape during production. Basically, it's not matching the standard dimension and curve that are required for a proper seal. So why does this happen? The most common cause is worn or misaligned tooling in the press that forms the can ends. If the machinery used to shape the lids isn't properly maintained or set up, it will start producing defective ends. The effect of this is quite serious. A misshaped end can prevent the lid from fitting correctly onto the can body, which leads to poor sealing. That poor seal can cause leaks, contamination, or even loss of vacuum, any of which can spoil the contents or can spoil the product. To prevent this, manufacturers should regularly check the end forming equipment and replace any worn out parts. Performing quality control inspections before the leads are used in sealing is also a smart way to catch this problem early. No? Even if the rest of the can is perfect, a badly formed end can ruin the entire product. So this defect really highlights how important precision is in every step of the manufacturing process. Another manufacturing defect we should talk about is the knockdown flange. This happens when the flange, which is the curled edge at the top of the can body, gets bent or flattened before the lid is applied. The main cause of this defect is misalignment in the seaming machine or rough handling during manufacturing. If the can body is not positioned correctly, or if it is bumped or dropped before the lid is sealed, the flange can be damaged. The effect of this is serious, as a bent flange can prevent a proper double seam from forming. This compromises the can's seal and increases the risk of leakage. Also, microbial contamination or spoilage of the product. To prevent this defect, manufacturers should ensure proper alignment in the seaming process, handle cans gently during production, and inspect flanges before lid application. A small bend can result in big problems if it goes unnoticed. Now, let's shift to handling defects, starting with denting. Denting occurs when the can is hit or pressed, causing a visible depression or deformation. The most common causes are dropping the cans during transportation, especially during transportation, or using rough conveyor systems, or improper stacking in storage. So kaning denting is morning maka lumping-lumping ang lata. The effect of a dent might seem just cosmetic, nalumping ra na, wala ra na, but it can weaken the can's structure. If the dent is near the seams, it may also interfere with the can's ability to stay sealed properly, kung naay lumping or naay piko tong sealed, so obviously dili siya ma-seal ug tarong, naay gamay agianan para sa contamination. To prevent denting, we can use proper packaging methods or handle cans gently and design conveyor systems to reduce impact. Workers should also be trained in careful stacking and unloading procedures. Next is a defect where we are all familiar with: rusting. Rusting happens when the protective coating on the can is damaged and the metal is exposed to moisture or humidity. Rusting, taya. The main cause of rusting or pagkataya sa imong lata includes storing cans in damp environments, basa, exposure to water during handling, nabasa, wala na ugat, or manufacturing flows in the coating application. Rusting, the effect of this, rusting weakens the can and can lead to perforations over time, allowing bacteria or air inside, and that compromises the food safety. To prevent this, or to prevent rusting, cans should be stored in dry, well-ventilated areas, and coating applications must be done correctly using manufacturing. Even one small scratch can lead to rust over time. Finally, let us talk about buckling. Buckling is when the body becomes crumpled or collapsed due to external pressure. The most common cause is overstacking. Kanang gipile-pile nga gabi kadaghan naipit na ang lata. When too much weight is placed on cans during transport or storage. Another possible cause is a weak can structure that can't withstand the pressure. The effect is a crushed or distorted cans, which is not only affects appearance but can also compromise the integrity of the seal. Also, the content inside is affected also kay malumping malata man ang lata, no? To prevent buckling, it is important to stock cans properly, avoid excessive weight, and use stronger cans materials if necessary. And that will be all for my presentation. Thank you. Sawarida WA Ijides. Watki tadaki arigatou gozaimashita. John Michael Romosu. Korenaito shichure taishimasu. That means thank you for listening. John Michael Ramos is signing off.